everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm taking you behind the scenes of something every new NHS doctor remembers very clearly. My first shadowing experience as a medical registrar in England. Yep, I had just landed in the UK with my suitcase, my stethoscope, and absolutely no idea what fit to sit meant. I was excited, nervous, mildly jet-lagged, but ready to jump into the whirlwind world of the NHS. Over the course of 6 weeks, I was placed in 3 key battlegrounds of acute medicine. The mighty emergency department, where adrenaline meets overcrowding. The Acute Medical Unit, AMU, a.k.a. the ward that never sleeps. And finally, the surprisingly civilized same-day emergency care, or SDEC, where miracles happen in 4-hour slots. In this video, I'll walk you through what I saw, learned, laughed at, and definitely panicked over during this shadowing period. If you're an IMG about to start your NHS journey, or just someone curious about what actually happens when the bleep starts going off every 5 minutes, you're in the right place. So grab a tea, coffee, or if you're on call, an energy drink. Let's dive into the real, unfiltered story of a new registrar navigating NHS corridors, one crash bleep at a time. Welcome to the chaos! So let me paint the scene. It's day 1 of my shadowing as a brand new registrar in acute medicine. And where do I begin? Of course, in the battleground that is the emergency department. Now, this isn't your casual stroll into the hospital with a latte and clipboard. Nope, this is pure adrenaline. I shadowed a registrar from 9 to 5, and let me tell you, that felt more like 9 to forever. Here's how the game works. Registrars are clerking machines, taking histories, examining patients, trying to look calm while mentally screaming. But first, we pick our lucky patient off the AMU tracker, and then begins the scavenger hunt. Because patients aren't neatly lined up, they're scattered like Pokemon across different ED habitats. The assessment area are cubicles, mild to moderately sick. The rhesus, or REIT, a.k.a. the spicy ones. The corridors, where the real Tetris of human bodies happens. The fit-to-sit ward, sounds cozy, but it's still ED. And my personal favorite, escalation beds, like pop-up tents, but for emergencies. The sorting hat here, that's the news score. Anything above 5? Congratulations, that patient is now your priority. You drop everything, yes, even that biscuit, and go. Now, did I mention the ED referral bleep? Ah, yes, in my hospital, we call it 1999. Sounds like a year, but it's really your doom ringtone. You carry this bleep and a special emergency phone, which makes you the official, please come look at this patient now person. The call goes like this. Hey doc, we've got this patient. Bit breathless, maybe cardiac, could be surgical, also maybe gastro, or psych, not sure. Then you, mentally juggling 15 patients already, have to decide if this human belongs to your team or someone else's. Half the time you're like, maybe we call surgery and see if they want them first? And the other half? You just sigh and say, fine, we'll take them. Most of the time you take them, because let's face it, everything ends up as medicine anyway. Part 2. Shadowing in the Acute Medical Unit, AMU. Where the real party starts. Now, welcome to week 2 and 5. That's AMU time, where ED's chaos spills over and becomes your full-time problem. The AMU had 40 beds, split nicely between 2 consultants, 2 registrars, 4 shows. Which sounds manageable until you realize that 70% of your patients are over 80 all have 5+ comorbidities, and at least one is trying to make a run for it with a walking stick. Here's the layout. Beds 1 through 20, Team A. Beds 21 through 40, Team B. You, dear registrar, belong to one of these brave squads. We started every day with a post-take round. Step 1, read the clerking notes from ED, sometimes deciphering hieroglyphics. Step 2, review the bloods, ECGs, CTs, MRIs, and occasionally their shopping list. Step 3, make a plan, a real one, not monitor and see, actual orders, people. Then we had the midday handover extravaganza. Consultants, registrars, shows, nurses, everyone comes together to update, delegate, and panic in unison. This is where we assign urgent scans, care escalations, and who gets the last slice of cake in the break room. Except, breaks? Ha, that's cute. You might get 20 minutes if the ward doesn't implode. Spoiler alert, it always does. What made AMU spicy? Failed cannulas? That's your job now. Lumbar punctures? Hope you like bending over backward. Crashing patients? Cancel your lunch. You learn fast that the registrar is the glue, the driver, and the fire extinguisher. And just when you think you're catching up, boom! Another 3 admissions from ED. Part 3. Shadowing in same-day emergency care. The chill but busy sibling. Ah, SDEC, my final week of shadowing, and what a refreshing twist. Imagine a hospital service that works like an express outpatient clinic. Patients walk in, get treated, and, fingers crossed, go home the same day. Genius. Here's the team. 1 consultant in the morning, another in the afternoon. 1 registrar, hi, that's me. 4 to 5 SHOs who are constantly refreshing their patient lists like it's a sale on ASOS. At 9 a.m., we huddle, assign patient folders, and then action. Patients are called from the waiting room to cubicles. Hello, Mr. Smith. What brings you in today? Chest pain. Internal voice. Please not an NSTEMI. Please not an NSTEMI. Luckily, most of the bloods, ECGs, and even imaging are already done by the triage nurse wizards. Your job? Take a focused history, examine quickly but thoroughly, make a clinical decision like you've been doing this for 20 years. And here's the fun part. As a registrar, you can discharge patients without calling a consultant every time, unlike our poor SHOs. But the consultants are always around for backup, or just for a friendly, so what's your plan? Disposition choices. Discharge? Follow-up in 48 hours? AMU admission? Uh-oh. GP review? Classic. The vibe here was efficient, streamlined, dare I say, peaceful? Nurses were on top of everything. Imaging was fast, the snacks were visible, and for once, it felt like we were ahead of the chaos. Closing scene. Final thoughts. So, after 6 weeks across ED, AMU, and SDEC, here's what I learned. Being a registrar isn't just about medical knowledge. It's about prioritizing sick patients while juggling bleeps, performing procedures under pressure, explaining complex things in simple words while not panicking yourself, and most of all, being that calm presence in utter chaos. Each department had its vibe. ED, chaotic, unpredictable, and full of surprises. AMU, intense, exhausting, but full of teamwork. SDEC, efficient, sharp, and oddly satisfying. And no matter where you are, one truth holds. Medicine is a team sport. You learn, you adapt, you survive, and occasionally you get your lunch break. And that brings us to the end of my whirlwind shadowing journey across the emergency department, AMU, and SDEC. From chaotic cubicles to fast-paced referrals, bleep battles, and fit-to-sit adventures to the surprisingly zen world of SDEC, where things actually run on time. Every single day was a crash course in the beautiful madness of NHS life. Honestly, I've come out of it with more confidence, more stories, and a newfound respect for how much tea can fuel a medical workforce. I laughed, I learned, I ran down corridors, I got lost in trackers, I survived bleep anxiety, and I even learned that you can politely argue with ED when you're sleep deprived. If you're starting out in the NHS or just curious about what goes on behind the scenes, I hope this gave you a little peek into real life on the front lines. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this gave you a laugh or a little relief that you're not alone in the chaos. Until next time, stay caffeinated, stay compassionate, and try not to lose your bleep phone. Thanks for watching.